So you know what I said a few months ago about not acquiring any more books? I lied. Hey folks, my name is Jen, and today I have a video that's somewhat to do with self-control, I suppose, of which I apparently have none. First of all, as can be noted by my very poor haircut that I did myself, because sometimes your stress gets too much and you just have to chop your hair off. And also, having to do with a lack of self-control is a bunch of books that I have acquired this month of November. Quite a few books here to discuss, and I think I'm going to do this chronologically by how they kind of happened. So let's do it. So first, I have a stack here of books that I ordered on election night due to anxiety. So yeah, let's get into this bunch first. So first that I grabbed was the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. This, of course, is about Arthur Dent, who, let me see if there's like a better image of this, because I don't have a cover for it. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So this is about Arthur Dent, your average Earthling, I suppose. He is whisked away from Earth by his best friend moments before Earth is destroyed to make way for a new, like, galactic freeway. His best friend happens to be an alien and a researcher for the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which is basically a guide for you to travel around the galaxy. Shenanigans occur, craziness. There's been a couple of movie adaptations. I'm sure if you haven't read this book, you've probably seen one or both of them. I read this in high school and I absolutely loved it, but I didn't actually have my own physical copy of this book, so I was pretty happy to grab it and reread this at some point. The next book I grabbed, I've actually had my eye on for a while, and that is Ghosts, and this is by Raina Telgemir. This is all about two sisters, Katrina and Maya. Maya is sick with cystic fibrosis, and her family has to move to a nicer climate in California. Yes. And Katrina is not exactly happy about this, and even more unhappy when she realizes that there are some ghosts within this town. However, her sister is very excited about this and wants more than anything to actually see a ghost. I've heard that this is both heartwarming and kind of maybe heartbreaking, but mostly just very much about family and friendship, and I don't know, I'm assuming there's going to be some feels in here somewhere, but I'm very excited to get to this. Next up, I grabbed Endless Night by Agatha Christie. I believe this is one of her standalones. It doesn't seem to have anything to do with her usual detective series at all. This is about a man named Michael Rogers, who is penniless and has a chance encounter with the very rich heiress Elle at this like mysterious estate. However, he is warned that there is some kind of curse upon this estate. Accidents and terrible things just seem to happen surrounding the people who live on the land. So this sounds, pretty creepy. So excited for it. Next, I grabbed The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. I've been wanting to read this for a while now and was very happy to find a copy of it. This, of course, is about a young girl named Star, and she is kind of walking the line between the mostly white prep school that she attends, and her own very diverse neighborhood, and things kind of come to a head when she sees one of her childhood friends get murdered in front of her by the police. And Star has to decide, what does she say? Does she even say anything about what really happened that night, and what is the impact that it will have on her and those she loves and her community around her? And I know that this has been a very impactful book, especially in the past year or so. So I'm excited to be able to actually pick it up now. And then I grabbed not one, but two Howard Frank Mosher books. This first one is The Great Northern Express, A Writer's Journey Home. This is actually a nonfiction book by Mosher. This chronicles his book tour that he took shortly after being diagnosed with cancer, and it just chronicles the travels across America on this book tour and the quirky characters he encounters along the way. And then this is On Kingdom Mountain, which is another fictional book. This deals again with the Kinnison family, but this one has to do with Jane Kinnison in about 1930. Again, in the fictional Kingdom County, Vermont. Jane is a very eccentric character and one of the last people that are kind of living up in this specific, like, wild area right against the border with Canada. And her way of life is about to be threatened due to the proposed new highway that is going to be put in. So this sounds like there's also going to be some shenanigans and whatnot here, and also the kind of theme that is in a lot of these books, which is like a disappearing way of life. So I'm excited to read this as well. And then I grabbed The Trials of Apollo, the first book, The Hidden Oracle by Rick Riordan. I know I haven't exactly finished reading the Heroes of Olympus series yet, but I saw this for sale, so I just grabbed it up. I'm not going to say anything about it in case you haven't read any of the rest of the series yet, because I accidentally possibly spoiled myself a little when I looked at the inside cover. So don't do that, kids. And then my last little thing in that book haul was The Essential Calvin and Hobbes by Bill Watterson. I absolutely love Calvin and Hobbes. I was obsessed with this when I was a kid, and if you saw my like comic and graphic novel tour, you probably saw that I have a couple of these big volumes already. This cover honestly looks kind of familiar, so I feel like I probably got it out of the library when I was younger, but I, again, saw this for sale and thought, why the hell not? I freaking love these guys, so grabbed it, excited to read it. And then, after that, we got into the couple of things that I received for my birthday, and the first of which was When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. This is about a woman named Sydney who grew up in a particular neighborhood in Brooklyn and absolutely loves her neighborhood, but every time she comes back to it, she notices that the old familiar shops are now something different and trendier. A lot of the old neighbors are suddenly disappeared and replaced by other people, and it's very disturbing to her, and she wants to get to the bottom of what is going on. Assisted with this kind of investigation by one of the new neighbors who has moved in named Theo. This kind of discusses gentrification of older, more diverse neighborhoods, and it's also a mystery thriller, and it's by Alyssa Cole. I read her romance novels this summer, absolutely loved them. I'm very excited to be getting to this. And the other book I received for my birthday was this copy of Greek Myths, and this is by BookTube's own Jean Menzies, and it's illustrated by Katie Ponder. This is all about the heroes, gods, goddesses, and monsters of ancient Greece. If you can't tell, this is just really shiny and freaking gorgeous. I have read various versions of these myths before, but I really liked how palatable they were in here. I mean, this is geared towards children, but it's just really cool, and the art is just fantastic. Just really, really gorgeous. Now, a couple of things that I got for my birthday, which are more bookish, I figured I'd share. One of my friends got me a couple of things. One is this personal library kit, which I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, I really wanted to be a librarian for a while there, and I'm very excited to have this. I can document like all my books, and also if I rent them out, then I have a place to keep track of them. I'm very jazzed, in case you can't tell. And she also got me this book lover's planner. This is by Emily Cromwell Designs, and it's just really cute. And this is going to be so useful for doing my videos, actually, because there's like sections for monthly check-ins, for writing the book reviews, new releases, TBRs, just all bunch of like notes, calendar for the whole. I'm just like, I am super jazzed about this. It's going to help me be way more organized with making and releasing videos, so this is just great. And then I have a couple of books that I got with money that I received for my birthday. I picked up a copy of The Institute by Stephen King. This is about children who are stolen in the middle of the night, their parents murdered, and they are brought to this place called The Institute, which houses children who have special abilities. And the kids are all kept in these rooms with no windows, but just a bunch of doors. And they're in like hallways full of just doors of all of these kids. They are kept in this place called the front half. The Institute also has a section called the back half, which you don't want to be sent to, because anyone who is sent to the back half never comes out again. They are just never seen ever again. And the main character is named Luke, and this kind of follows him and the other children in here who feel the need to try to plot a way to escape. I have been wanting to read this since it came out a couple of years ago and just hadn't picked up a copy yet, so I was pretty excited to finally get my hands on this. And then I also grabbed Hollowpox, The Hunt for Morrigan Crow by Jessica Townsend. This is the third book in the series. I have been anticipating this coming out for months now, and I'm super excited. I'm not going to say anything much about it because it is the third book in the series, but I'm super jazzed, but also a little nervous because we're in a pandemic, and it sounds like it has something to do with a pandemic, so yeah. And then we get into another stack of books that I ended up stress buying because of all of the crazy shit that has been happening this month after election even. So yeah. So first we have this graphic novel called American Born Chinese, and this is by Jean Luen Yang. This follows a couple of characters. One of the characters is named Jin, who has just recently started going to a new school where he is the only Chinese American student. When a new student from Taiwan moves in, he finds himself kind of compared to this character, and he really does not, to this other boy, I'm sorry, and he doesn't really want to be compared to him because he wants to be more of an all-American boy. Then we follow another character named Danny, who is basically an all-American boy. He's great at basketball. He's very popular. Things kind of go awry for him when his cousin Chin comes to visit from China and ends up ruining Danny's reputation at his school. This also has to do with the Monkey King, who is like a master of Kung Fu, is to be accepted with the immortal gods in heaven, but he is unable to do this. They say that that is no place for a monkey, and this basically follows those three characters and how they meet up and can possibly assist each other with what they want in life. And I've had my eye on this one for quite a while, and I'm pretty excited to be reading. And then I also grabbed Spellcrafts, Magical Herbalism, and the complete book of Incense, Oils, and Brews, all by Scott Cunningham, because your girl needs some studying material. And then I also grabbed the Lightning Thief, the graphic novel of the first book, because I have a problem. This story is, of course, by Rick Riordan, but this was adapted by Robert Venditti. The art is by Attila Futaki, and the color is by Jose Villarruba. I've already started to read this. Everything looks pretty great. Pretty excited about the drawings in here. And yeah, I love me some Percy Jackson. And then the last book that I stress bought was Dead Sleep by Greg Iles. I honestly don't know too much about this book other than there's like a murderer and it involves twins, and really that's all I really need to know to get into a mystery. I have had Greg Iles recommended to me a few times now, so I figured I would grab one of his books. And then finally we get to the last books that I purchased this month, which is actually a series. It came in this box set, and this I bought after I swore I wasn't going to get anything else, because my husband had never seen Black Cauldron before, so we ended up watching that, and I remembered that the Black Cauldron is actually book 2 of a fantasy series geared towards like middle grade, and I was like, you know what, I kind of really want to read that, and I found this set at an independent online bookstore that was like $20 for these 5 books, and I couldn't say no, so I picked up the entire Chronicles of Prydain. They start with the Book of 3, then the Black Cauldron, then the Castle of Lear, I think it's Lear, then Terran Wanderer, and finishing with the High King. I think there's also maybe some other books that are kind of an offshoot of this series, but this seems to be like the main bits. But anyway, yeah, I grabbed this whole series. I know I don't read a lot of fantasy, but when I do end up reading it, a lot of it does seem to be middle grade, and I'm pretty excited to be getting into this as well. So those are all of the many books that I acquired in November. My deep shame. I have to figure out where I'm putting all of these now. So that'll be a fun little puzzle. I hope that you guys had a decent November and maybe had a lot more willpower than I did this month. So yeah. Anyway, I hope that you guys have a great day, and see you next time.